Paris has played host to many stories over the years. Tales of revolutions and revolt are as much a part of the city's fabric as the cafes on the street corner. But amid the hustle and bustle of this iconic capital city, a new chapter's being written in the history of French football. Paris Saint-Germain are the nouveau riche of Ligue 1 after a multi-million euro Qatari takeover, and a familiar face is now at the helm at the Parc des Princes.
When thinking a big team, I think Paris Saint-Germain is a big team in France. I think the last years was not very easy for the club to manage a lot of situations, to create a real project. You know, it's a team that's out of the Champions League. So I think the main project is to be in the best clubs in Europe. We need time to do that, we need a project, but the project is to use everything this city has to put Paris Saint-Germain in a high level.
PSG's fortune saw them become Europe's top net spenders this summer. Star buy Javier Pastore, the jewel in the crown, at a massive 42 million euros.
Pastore, this is the best transfer in all La Ligue 1 ever. So we've seen that, you know, from far in England, what's happening in Man City and some clubs, but it's the first time. So it's a bit, you have the pro Parisian who's very happy because they're going to see stars and everything.
Qatar's purchase of PSG has given the Arab state visibility and legitimacy ahead of the 2022 World Cup, which they will of course host. But there's plenty of clubs around Europe for sale, so why choose PSG?
First and foremost, they've bought PSG at a very, very low price, just 50 million euros for a club that has enormous potential. Don't forget that Paris, besides Berlin, is the only major European capital that has just one professional team. PSG have been a sleeping giant for a long time.
I think in 2022 the World Cup will be in Qatar. So I think to enter in football and to learn also about football and to think in a big organization, I think it makes part, sure, what we're doing now. But it's sometimes difficult for people to understand that, but I think the first reason is the passion. They love football.
Qatar's influence on football spreads much further than France. They're the first ever shirt sponsors of Barcelona. They took over another Spanish club, Malaga, last year, and they're pretty powerful media moguls too.
The new president of Paris Saint-Germain, Nasser El Khelaifi, he's actually the president of Al Jazeera Sports. He's a close friend of the Crown Prince in Qatar, a very, very influential and powerful man. Now, Al Jazeera have bought into French football also in a very big way. They've bought the international rights for Ligue 1, and they've also bought part of the domestic rights. They're setting up their own television channel here.
I think it's really a new era for us. It's a new era for our league. I think it's the first real act of globalization of the French league, showing that internationally we are very attractive. It's unprecedented. We're number 5 league at the moment, and we're very ambitious.
PSG are just one of a new crop of European clubs, all fueled by petrodollar billionaires. But comparisons with Abu Dhabi-owned Manchester City are met with a swift nod.
Everything is different. It's easy to compare because it's two clubs that needed some injection of money to restart. The idea here is to inject some money, but then we have to make money also with our possibilities.
When Manchester City began their project back in 2008, they wanted a big name signing. Are you after a certain kind of player?
So I think you have always to mix. I think we have signed Pastore at 22 years old, Bisevac is 27, Sissoko is 26, and Lugano is 30 years old. So we signed different mixed players. I think we need everything. We need experience, we need the youth, we need everyone to a long-term project.
Any English players you've seen which you think, wow, I'd like to buy him if possible?
Why not? I have...
Who from England? Who English player?
I have an English player that I really like and I work with him. It's David Beckham. I think it's someone that it was the English player that has more in contact, and I think it's a big brand of the English football.
Would you like to bring him here if possible?
It's someone that I really appreciate, and someone that I really admire, and someone that I work together, very professional. That's why I'm not just talking about him to bring him here, but to talk that the English player for me, it's his style. That's why I think it's a very top level.
So you'd consider trying to bring him here if possible?
The door, they're open.